Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to talk about the things you should do to make your Mustang a good drift car. Now these are all just my personal opinions on the matter. I do have experience with the older chassis, the S197, a few years drifting that chassis, as well as my current car, the S550, and all the things that I've personally done to the vehicle just to make drifting a much more fun and enjoyable experience with that chassis. So one of the best things you can do to your Mustang is going to be doing a hydraulic handbrake. There's a few different options when it comes to hydraulic handbrakes: a pullback style or a pull-up style handbrake, like I have in my Mustang. I have my pull-up style handbrake mounted in the factory position, utilizing a small cutout in the center console for the brake reservoir, just to make filling up a little bit easier. And this is what I grew up on, was yanking the factory handbrake in an FRS. So that placement is just more natural and what I'm used to. So that's why I decided to go that route. So I actually have a dual caliper bracket purchased from Sikky, and it allows you to run a nice second brake caliper on the rear axle in conjunction with your stock. So this kit is a full kit by Sikky. This system works really well and was super easy to install. Now, since we're on the inside of the car, let's talk about seats. The factory seats from the Mustang just don't offer very much bolstering. It definitely makes a huge difference in your ability to drive the car to get a bucket seat, or at minimum a seat with much more aggressive side bolstering. The harnesses are a added bonus in safety as well as holding you in place. I recommend an SFI certified harness, such as these Braum Racing Harnesses I have here on my car. Now, by far one of the most important things you're going to want to do to these cars is coilovers. I've always ran BC Racing coilovers on every single one of my cars, just because for the price point and what you get, you can't really beat it. These cars' suspension is set fairly soft from the factory and offers zero adjustability. So something like an aftermarket coilover system gives you quite a bit of adjustability as far as height and dampening. To increase your drifting experience with the Mustang is going to be to do an angle kit. I am currently running the FDF angle kit. I absolutely love it. It is one of the best price point angle kits out there. And they also allow you to purchase individual parts for when or if you do break something. With drifting, especially once you start doing tandems, you're definitely going to end up hitting somebody, hitting something, and breaking something. The FDF kit offers an absolutely insane amount of angle, and it completely transforms the characteristics of how the Mustang handles through transitions, as well as initiations. So from the factory, the Mustang comes with a limited slip differential. There are two different types. The base model is going to come with Ford's track lock. Only works in acceleration, and it does not give you 100% lockup, and it requires wheel slip for the other side to lock up. It works, you can drift the car like that, but it does make it slightly unpredictable, and it's not ideal for drifting. The other type of limited slip differential you can get in the Mustang, it's going to be a Torsen style limited slip differential. It works much better than the Ford track lock system, but you're still going to get that little bit of delay. Ideally, in my opinion, would be to weld the diff. I believe you can only weld the diff on the base model. I don't think you can weld the Torsen style diff. It's going to be your best option in my opinion, because it's going to be 100% locked all the time. Acceleration, deceleration. Now, as far as engine mods, these cars don't really need anything done to the engine to be a great drift car. I mean, the older ones, the S197 with the 5.0 came with 400 horsepower at the crank. The new ones, the Gen 3s, are putting out 460 at the crank. So plenty of horsepower and torque to do what you're wanting to do on the track. I'm running 265s in the back, most common drift tire size. Best price, bang for the buck, tons of options and tires. And it's got plenty of grip, plenty of power to spin the wheels. There are a couple things I recommend doing to the engine just to increase the overall lifespan of the engine. Now, these cars are known to have a lot of blow-by in the PCV system. This chassis does is a oil catch can. or a air oil separator. Passenger side is usually what's recommended to do at minimum. If you're going to be drifting and driving the car really hard and aggressive, I recommend doing both the passenger side catch can and a driver side. Now the last and probably most important thing you're going to want to do with this car if you are drifting is oil. I've run many different weights and brands. Honestly, I personally don't think that makes a huge difference as long as you're using a good weight oil in this car and are keeping an eye on the oil temps. A lot of these cars come recommended with a 5W30. I think the new one is a 5W20 even, which is really lightweight. And then it says for track use to go to a 5W30. Well, I personally have gone of a 5W50 weight oil. I bounce between AMSOIL, a 550. I have used Ford's Motorcraft 5W50. Valvoline, I believe, even makes some options with higher zinc content, the BR1. Just ran some Liquid Moly 5W40 in the car for the past 2 events, as well as some street driving. But you're definitely going to want to run at least a 540, if not a 550, if you're tracking the car. And I would recommend doing an oil change at least, I mean, more is better, right? So I've been doing 2 events and a little bit of street driving and changing the oil. I also run the Ford Racing oil filter, which is a larger diameter oil filter. It just helps with more oil capacity and more filtration with the bigger filter. The last supporting thing that you're gonna need, obviously, is you. Practice. Driving the car, figuring it out. Go to a racetrack, go to a local track day. A lot of track days offer learner's days. Get some practice in. Even on a simulator, it will make a huge difference on what translates to the car and what you can do in the car. That's gonna be it for my video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've learned something. I hope you can find something that will translate to making your Mustang a better drift car, or if this is even a chassis that you want to get for drifting. I hope this gives some insight, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Visions in my head, like memories after death, to be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said.